Yeah, we have some technical. We have some technical. Get out of here. I got a couple people here. Before we got salty substance composing the sacred plexus of the tail of the horse may be linked unto the crude petroleum, that mineral or the salt, and the oleum, Latin for oil or the spinal cord, Moors, may be compared with coal oil. And when this oil is carried up and crossed the ida and the pingala, two fluid nerves that end in a cross medulla oblongata, where it contacts the cherubim, that golfa in the biblical scriptures, Golgotha, the place of the skull. This is fluid, is refined as coal or coal oil is refined, Moors, to produce gasoline, which is a higher rate of motion that causes the ascension of the airship. I hope you follow me, Moors. So when the oil of the ointment is crucified, to crucify, Moors, means to increase in power 1,000-fold, not to kill. It remains 2 days and a half, the moon's period, in a sign in the tomb, right? Or the cerebellum, right? And on the third day, it ascends to the pineal gland that connects to what? The cerebellum with the optic thalamus, the central eye, in the throne of God, that is the chamber over top, by the holy or the hallowed, caused by the curve of the cherubim, which is the most high of the body, which is the temple of the living God, the living, the vital substance, which is a what? Precipitation of the branch of life, Moors. That breath into man, therefore, is the holy, or that whole, that ghost, they like to say, or nothing spooky. So that pineal gland is the pinnacle of the temple, Moors, the modus operandi by which the oil of the spinal cord reaches the pineal gland. See, there is no name under heaven whereby ye may be saved except Yahshua, or they say Jesus Christ, and then crucified. So I hope we understand the parable, the analogy, right? Every 29 days, Moors, and a half, every 29 and a half days when the moon is in the sign of the zodiac, Moors, that the sun is in the birth of that subject. There is a seed, Moors, follow me, or a psychophysical germ born in the solar plexus or the manger. I'm connecting these biblical allegories. And this seed is taking up the nerves of the gastric nerve and becomes the fruit of the tree of life, or the tree of good and evil. This seed is regarded as good, Moors. It's saved and cast upon the waters, Moors. One circulation to reach the pineal gland, and evil, if eaten or consumed in sexual expression on the physical plane, by what? Alcohol, or overeating that causes ferment, that acid. No drunk can inherit the kingdom of heaven. I'm sorry. When I speak metaphysically, when I talk about the metaphysics of alcoholism, of what it does to us, when we talk about vapor and I connect certain things to serpent, we got to understand our body, Moors. This is this wisdom. This is this science. Understanding who we are. This seed is regarded as the good. No drunk can inherit it, man. Why? Because acids and the body and produce that monthly seed. Why do you think a lot of alcoholics, their skin gets dry and they start looking dead? And people that smoke cigarettes, which you had all those chemicals in it, like acetate and acetone, you got to understand that those chemicals that we in our body that unites the mineral salts in the body, it dilutes it, that alcohol and other things. So on either side, Moors, of as the pineal or the posterior and the pituitary on the anterior side of the thalamus. The pineal is cone-shaped and secretes more a yellow or golden fluid. I'm giving you the science where you can connect this. They ain't gonna connect it. You have the power. The pituitary body, opposite is ellipsoid in shape and contains a whitish secretion, Moors, just like that milk. The fluids that are found in both these bodies come from the same source, Moors, namely the clostrium, which means barrier or clostrier, and is referred to as a clostrier for the very good reason, Moors, that a precious and holy thing is secreted or secluded there, Moors. That's why that Santa Claus is another term for this precious fluid, a holy gift in our body. It's too simple. The precious fluid, Moors, which flows down from the clostrium, separates. Watch this. Part going into the pineal gland and part going to a what, Moors? Our pituitary body. And these, Moors, these two being special laboratories or houses of the head, differentiate, family, the fluid from the clostrium, and it takes the colors above mentioned that I said, that yellowish, and the pineal glands become yellow and has electric properties. The pituitary body having that milk color, that milk-like fluid, it has that magnetic properties, Moors. When I'm talking about this law of attraction, these two glands are the male and female. In the biblical scriptures, this is your Joseph and Mary of the physical body, and are the parents of the spiritual son born in the solar plexus of each human being. Are you following me, Moors? Commencing about the age of 12, this yellow and white material, which is the milk and honey referred to in the biblical text, the children, Moors, of Israel, having been given the promise of a return to this land flowing with milk and honey, Moors, reaches what? The solar plexus. Are you following me, Moors? The Bethlehem of this physical body. Moors, in Hebrew, Bethlehem means house. The Beth of bread, the Hem, the L-E-H-E-M. I am the bread of life, Moors, said the allegorical Jesus. So, in the solar plexus, Moors, is a thimble-shaped depression, which is the manger. And in this is deposit the psychophysical seed, Moors, or the holy child, born of the Immaculate Conception. Immaculate Conception ain't no magically born. Immaculate Conception, man, woman having a baby. Immaculate Conception, child. This psychophysical seed is also called what? The fish. And it has the color, or it has the odor of fish, this sacred oil, and is formed in the midst of the waters, Moors. I hope we clear in this science. Moors. So as I leave you, I always have to highlight the books that I gathered and compiled for purchase. Moorish Adapt, Light of Ali, and the Moorish Adapt Study Guide, The House of Ali, Mysticism, the Egyptian Adapt, Prophet and Angel. This is how you conjure all our mantras. Everything is in here. All the science. Interpretation of the Divine Creed of Moorish Islam. If Moors don't understand the Divine Creed of Moorish Islam, and if they can't answer that on the spot, that's the issue. We have our coloring book for our children, I Am Royalty coloring book, so we can see figures of ourselves, and our children can see pictures of themselves in royalty, and women of our empresses in royalty and historic things. 14 famous Asiatic scientists in history. Health, healthy living and eating. Get your mind, your body right. Different workouts that I do. Different. Our vegan snack book. Delectable vegan treats. Black scholars, and follow when I say black scholars, follow the context. Who debunked the Eurocentric propaganda. We have this. I can show you all through history where you're Moors. I have the golden age of the Moors. I print these in my laboratory. You can see online how much they cost. I print these out to my students for way cheaper than what it costs. You can look these stuff up. I have a printing press. Sufi is a triple roll of the Adapt Chamber. Adapt Chamber and our Committed Adapt Manual That's it. Ain't nothing I can say. The essence of the chemical element of Moorish archival. I also have all the documents to tell you how the temple was set up. You can see the affidavits that come from and you can look all this stuff up. Let me see. If Moors don't have this, I have it. It's nothing to argue about. I got documents show you. I got documents to show you how our temple was set up. Everything when people just be talking and saying dumb stuff, they trying to say how the temple is not set up. I was like, look, man, you don't have to listen to what nobody say. I can give you all the information how the temple was set up, so you can stand strong. It's nothing secret. I'm talking about even other books like the Sacred Drift. See how much these books cost and stuff. I'll print them on my printing press so we can have them. Our prophet was talked about all through history, but they tried to hide him. He was written about. I'm telling you, Moors. So I challenge my brothers and sisters to remove the ego and let's come together, man. Let's be students. I'll print ID cards just for my school, not Moors IDs. I'll show you how to do it. But I will show Moors how to do it. But if anyone want it, this is how you order. If you have the Cash app, download the Cash app to your mobile phone. If a person's serious, once you inbox me on YouTube, and I will directly give you my our office number. And then once you download the Cash app, you put on there what book you want and your address. I send it right to you. It comes with a tracking number, and it comes with a tax exempt receipt. Everything about me is real, Morris. Any books that you might think you can't get, I got them all. To all my students have all the literature, ancient books about astrology, Moorish science, our adapt laws, how the temple was set up, the Moorish salawat, all certain stuff, how we should know this. But I love you all, Moors. Love, truth, peace, freedom, justice, health, and wealth.